Good morning, Flosstube. It's Chrissy, finally a farm girl. I am so glad to finally be sitting down and recording a Flosstube. This is my Flosstube channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. This channel is primarily about cross stitch, my cross stitch adventures, my cross stitch projects, inspiration. Today though, I have a little bit of extra fiber arts to share with you. One is a hooked rug project and the other is a quilting piece that is incredibly special, and I'm just gonna say today is kind of like if you loved show and tell when you were in kindergarten, which I did because it meant I got to talk about something, and we all know I like to talk. So it's kind of like a show and tell day because I have a lot to share. I also, this is Flosstube episode 16. This is September 5th, which is exciting because as I've started already sharing with my husband, it's my birthday month. He doesn't understand why he gets a birthday day and I get a birthday month, but it's been a long going joke. So anyways, I like September. September's good. September's about fall. September is, yeah, I like September. We are not experiencing in Florida any great significant drop in temperatures, but the stores still reflect that fall is around the corner, and we are very ready. So with all that being said, I guess just at the very beginning, it's always nice to just say thank you so much for all the comments. I did get sick about a week ago, just a head cold, and so I really, once I got sick, I really at that point kind of lost track of some of the lovely comments that you leave on my Flosstube channel. So thank you. I do try to always reply. I had a couple of great ideas that I will share from a couple of followers. Welcome to my home where the cats know how to open cupboards and things. But if you watch and you enjoy, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button. And let's just get started. The first thing I was gonna do was talk just quickly about, sorry if you hear my chair squeak, life updates. Okay, so I already shared I had a head cold. My husband got it and then I got it, and thank goodness that's over. It was no big deal, but it did, I actually don't have many days that I just don't feel like stitching, and I actually had that. So I'll share what I did instead, because even if I'm not stitching, I'm either winding floss or doing something like that. So I'll share what I did a little bit later. We had a very big, exciting day. The very last weekend in August was our daughter Carolina's birthday, her boyfriend's birthday, and then they went to Disney. And if you follow me on Instagram, I am under the same name, Finally a Farm Girl. If you follow me there, you will have seen a short clip of her boyfriend, Caleb, proposing to her. So we are incredibly excited for them. They have been dating for, I believe, 2 years now. It might be a little longer than that, but they have been together for quite a long time. He has joined the Navy. We're very proud of that and excited for their journey. So it'll be a longer engagement. They're very clear about that, but they're also very excited about their commitment to marriage down the road. So it was really cute, and I'm so grateful that he took the time to make something very special for her. He proposed at the fountain, or the wishing well, sorry, at the Magic Kingdom, and it couldn't have been a sweeter moment. So anyways, that is one big life update. The other one is just about me personally. I finally just felt that really big urge to jump on a little bit of a healthier lifestyle kick. I'm excited that fall's coming here. It means that I can get out with Philip a little bit more and walk. So I've lost a little weight. It's a nice slow go, and as the weather changes, I'm all in. And it's important to me because you know, obviously you just feel better. So the soda, I've taken most of that out of my life, so that has been a help. And you know, I'm just gonna go day by day and try and make good choices. So I'm down, I think, 18 pounds, and it feels really, really good. And for somebody who loves a lot of candy and uses a lot of the food as a crutch during stress or anything, I'm very thankful to have been finding some other foods and techniques to help me through that. So let's see, what else did I do? For the first time ever, let's talk about StitchCon for a second. We all know Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching. I've watched StitchCon for the last couple years. I won't say that I've known about it forever, because until I watched Flosstube, I was kind of clueless on that. But watching everybody, and especially just a personal friend of mine, Linda, Stitchy Linda from Instagram, go to StitchCon, and Liz Matthews, and watching all the Flosstubes come back, I went ahead, and when they came out with the 2022 StitchCon dates for the 2 weekends, and for the sign-up list or the wait list, I did go ahead with some other local Florida friends and got myself on the wait list for weekend A. That is, I believe, in the very beginning of June. It's after Philip's birthday, June 6th, so it would work out good. And I'm excited. That's really a big thing for me, and I wouldn't be real if I didn't share with you that a lot of especially close friends, and it means leaving Philip. So I wouldn't, if I were to get in, that's a big if. I think they had 900. I'm very well aware that this is a big if I make it in. But if I were to make it in, it's 3 nights for me, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night away from Philip. And there is always going to be, in this special needs mama's heart, that's always, you have to be, for me, it takes a lot of, I will just say, courage to, it's not that I do not trust my husband with him. It's none of that. It is absolutely none of that. It's just that if anything were to happen and I wasn't here, I know how badly I would feel. However, it is important to live life, and it is important to enjoy things and get breaks. And I am hearing my mother say things in my head as well that, you know, all will be good. And if I'm meant to be there, I will be there. So that was really exciting. And we waited till noon and got signed up. And anyways, so I'm very excited about that. And actually on September 25th, which is actually my birthday, I have my very first stitch-in that I'm going to. And now it's just for a day. It's in Tavares. My high school friend is going to go. My Linda's going to be there. I'm incredibly excited for that, because what a better way to spend your birthday but sitting with a bunch of ladies who love everything you do, or gentlemen. And that's, to me, I'm totally excited, and it's local, so I'm thrilled. Okay, I think we are caught up on that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'll jump back to some floss tubes, and let's show some stitching. Let's show something that I've gotten accomplished. You know, I made it through Expo with the 3. They are all up in the window at my local needle shop, which is Brick City. And let's go through my whips, because I did kind of shift my focus a little bit. Last we talked, I was working on Women of the Mayflower. I got back to that. I will just say that my boat actually did leave the shore, and I have, at this point, I'm gonna just, this is if you are a little behind in the times. This is Coming to America by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. It was very big last year, and I mentioned last time I got started and then I just put it down. This is where I'm at. Now, I'm excited because all my names are stitched. These are all the ladies who traveled over on the Mayflower. And so I'm down here. I got the fish in, I got the waves, and now I'm gonna start, I'm stitching faster down here. I'm still, my goal is to have a finish for this. You know, I was hoping maybe September, but that's not gonna happen. But I do hope that by the end of the year that this is off to the framers. So that's Women of the Mayflower. And I didn't get too much more in on that in between the last and when we got together. Okay, now, after I finished Expo, I think you know that the Witch's Craft Room by Twin Peak Primitives, that was for Expo, the Halloween one, which I loved with the hutch. That's going to my daughter Olivia for her birthday in October. The daughter that just got engaged, Carolina, her birthday was the last of August, and I decided that I wanted to give her my flea market Sal. And so this is where I'm at, and this is why I've been personalizing. Now, she doesn't watch Flosstube, so she's not gonna see this. She thinks it's for me because we share the same first initial. So this is stitched on 28 count ale. I love the color. She loves outside, she loves bugs, she loves snakes, none of that's for me. So I'm trying to make it a little more personal. The first thing I did, many of you know, was added the little ladybug, which was one of my mom's buttons. I changed here and put the word love. I've put the letter C in. This is going to be a cake because I'm not gonna make it a birthday cake, but she loves to decorate cakes and she loves to bake and she's going to culinary school. So then I added here, I had gotten, I wanted a little ceramic button of a butterfly that were in sync with some of the colors that Lori Holt has beautifully put together. And then on this one, I added a bee. I could not find a bee button, and so I found this just free pattern and kind of made it work. And so this is where I'm at here. Now her birthday's already happened, but I've already ordered the frame. And this is where I'm at right here. I have to say, part of me is inclined not to stitch those other ones. I love this. I love the 5. I've toyed around with putting the date, the year in there. I'm not sure, but I'm going for a finish and I'm going for it for today. So this is, if you're not aware of the pattern, let's see here. She's housed in my Dot Dot Goose bag with the Lori Holt fabric. And so I kind of keep my patterns in here. And this is Flea Market Flowers from Fat Quarter Shop is where I got this one. And I'll hold it up one more time. Like I said, I am so happy with the changes. Lori Holt's patterns are beautiful as is. Lori Holt's color palette are always exquisite. They're very happy colors. I will say I'm going to be happy to not be stitching petals anymore. I'm ready for a break on that, but when it all comes together, so if you're at all inclined to give it a go, I know you can get it at Fat Quarter Shop very easily, and the linen is just something that I had, and I used all the DMC called for threads. There was only one that I changed, and that was because, well, actually I didn't change it. This is the lightest pink because on here it kind of looked white. So that's it. I think she's gonna love it. So I'm gonna take this, the goal is to finish today, finished today. The frame was already ordered because I knew the size when I had finished her grid, and it should be waiting for me. So, and she knows I'm making something for her. It wasn't her only gift. Because they were going to Disney, it's always fun to just give them a Disney gift card and they can get what they want when they're there. So they had a good time. And so I'm hoping that this is finished. Tomorrow and Philip will be off to Hobby Lobby to drop it off. And since the frame's already gonna be there, it'll be very quick. So, okay, that's it. Now, I'm gonna move on to, I wanted to share a new designer to me. I had come across, scrolling when I was not feeling good, I came across a new pattern designer on Etsy, and then I found her on Instagram as well, and her name is Mama Witch Cross Stitch. And I'm gonna show you, I fell in love with her Halloween designs, like really fell in love. And I've shared her already, the one that I started. I shared her on my Instagram several times. But I'll show you what I got as far as the two patterns. I bought two. They're very, very reasonable for the detail in these patterns. Okay, so this is Pumpkin Gardener. And down here you can see her name is Mama Witch Cross Stitch. Now, you're gonna find her on Instagram with the cross stitch right here. It's MAMAWITCH stitch. Just so you can see that better. Now, I made quite a few changes because when I fell in love with her, I knew that it would be fun to go ahead and use, I haven't used hand-dyed, over-dyed floss in a while. Lori Holtz is all DMC. A lot of the Twin Peaks, the last one I just did were DMC, so I was really in the mood to just go ahead and use some dyed floss, and I thought she would be perfect. So I bought two the very first day. Hold on one second here. Where are you? Oh, okay. I also bought the Halloween Gang. And I thought they were kind of vintagey looking, and maybe not totally like the Prairie Schooler vintage, but really cute guys, really cute gang there. So those are the first two that I purchased. Now, this one here, I mentioned Mama Loves You GB. She is a Flosstuber, and she is on Instagram, Mama Loves You GB. Many of you know her. She loves Halloween stuff, and I tagged her right away. I'm like, hey, do you want to stitch this with me? Well, she had already gotten patterns, and she's like, I have Pumpkin Girl, or she said, tell me what you got. So I told her the two I bought, and she's like, I have Pumpkin Girl. So we started this, and I don't know where she's at on it. You could check and see. I know she was getting ready to get it started, but I had so much fun stitching her that I had to finish. And so this is my Pumpkin Gardener. Does she not make you smile or what? Okay, so I had several people ask me on Instagram if I could share my conversion. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just going to do it here because it's just that much easier. Now I'm going to tell you, I changed quite a bit. One, I think my linen color, obviously my linen is not black. I was not going to stitch her on black by any means. I stitched her on Chocolate Milk by Fabrics by Stephanie, 28 count. And I did want her to be a little bigger. I mean, she's super happy. She got a little spooky. You know, these guys, they're a little spooky. But she's digging up bones. I had a worm button left over, and so I thought, how cute to add that in the bottom. Now, let me get this. You're going to notice that at the bottom, right here, she's got this guy that matches those up there. I swapped mine out for the little trick-or-treater bucket. I don't know why, I just kind of liked that a little bit for my taste, because he's happy and it matches her happy, and I could use the same shape, and I just thought it was cute. And then I had a little dragonfly button, so I added him flying around the garden. So let's talk about the changes. 1 second here. I did it so fast that I didn't really even I didn't put it together very, very pretty by any means. Okay, so the colors I pulled out were the Gentle Arts Toffee. That was one of the colors of the leaves, and her shoes. Sable, the Gentle Arts Sable. Now, all Sable was the shovel, the handle on the shovel, and her pocket. Now, her pocket I just filled in. I did not. She does a beautiful job shading, but what I did was I wanted that pocket to look like something she patched or sewed on. So in the pocket, I just stitched it solid, and that's in Gentle Arts Sable. Her dress is in Classic Colorworks Lemongrass. It's this really, I wanted the vines to be a deeper green and her dress to be something a little bit lighter, but I still wanted it to show up. And so that is Classic Colorworks Lemongrass. Now, a lot was stitched in Weeks Dye Works Light Khaki. I love the variation that Light Khaki gives you, so it is her apron. And it is the same color I used when I did Twin Peak Primitives, the vase on A Country Welcome. It just gives you a great change. So I used that for all those skulls. I used it everywhere you see white, even the bone. That is Light Khaki by Weeks Dye Works. For the greenery, 1 second here. The black, I used Weeks Dye Works Charcoal. For the vines, the vines that go all around, I used Weeks Dye Works Kudzu. Now it does, you can see a difference, but I'm not seeing it as much here for you in order to see. The orange in her face is, 1 second here, Fragrant, I can't talk. The Gentle Art Fragrant Cloves. Fragrant Cloves. Boy, that's hard to say. Fragrant Cloves. Now I feel like Colleen from Stitching with the Sisterlies, who last night, bless her heart, I watched her on Flosstube. She was just having the hardest time getting words out because words are hard. But anyways, I'll talk about them a little bit later. So anyways, yeah, her face, and then this here, and this here, that's Fragrant Cloves. Her hands are Fragrant Cloves. That is. The shoes are your, the toffee. Okay, let me see. The hat is Weeks Dye Works Bordeaux. It's a really nice, I just made it a real nice cranberry. I did take off, she had a little flower on the hat, a little something. I didn't put that there. I originally thought maybe I would find a little button or something else, and I just kind of like it the way that she is. So all that cranberry is Bordeaux. I swapped around the flowers. You can tell down here. Right here, this flower here, I swapped colors. I liked more of the red, so I just played around with it, you know. It's fun to just change it up to your way. So I think the only thing I didn't share with you is I used Weeks Dye Works Copper. I've always wanted to try it. This gave me a good reason to see how it changed and that is down here. Instead of changing and doing all the leaves on here, copper, it's this one here. Let's put it across this for you. Copper has huge variations in it, from brown to orange. So I think that worked out really well right there, where I never had to change it. And actually, I considered just literally going, since it's a fall stitch, I considered going all the way around, just to see. She was just a really fun one to play with. So this is a finish. This is Pumpkin Gardener by Mama Witch Cross Stitch. And then, hold on one second here. Let me get this back together. When I was following her, Mama Witch Cross Stitch I think she does a once a month, I believe, free pattern. And so because September kicked in, she put her free pattern out, and the free pattern was this adorable frog. So the pattern name is called Cast a Spell. Let's see if I can get him in there a little. He's got some beautiful reds too. Cranberry and those little mushrooms, and look at that face. Oh my goodness. So here's my thought. I love him, and I think of the other two that I have, I will stitch him as a companion to Pumpkin Gardener, because how cute would this little guy be? You'd find him in a garden. So I think that is going to be my goal. If it's not this year, next year, and then I will put them put them together. And I do need to mention that if you do want this freebie, in order to get her freebie, you need to join her Facebook group. She has a special Facebook group, and she is from, I want to say Russia. I'm sorry if I didn't get that right, but she's many hours ahead. So I just be patient when you join her Facebook group, and it took a day or two, and then you just go download it. And I just thought that was very generous of her and so very cute. So those are the 3 patterns that I have from Mama Witch Cross Stitch. Okay, let me get these all back together. Okay, let's see, where am I at? We've done 1, 2, 3. Okay, all right. So if we start talking about plans, since I finished the Pumpkin Gardener, since I know I'm close to a finish on the Lori Holt Flea Market sale, I'm gonna drop them off. It allows me to add back into my rotation, which I have no formal rotation. I just have it in my head. I just know what I'm working on, and I know when I get back to. I know what I've pushed aside, and I was working on a sale with Stitchy Linda for Carolyn Manning. So it's a Christmas pattern, and I had to put that aside so I could plow through on flea market sale. And I'm going to get back to this week. This is just called Red by Carolyn Manning Designs. If you're interested in joining us, you can join us anytime. It's just hashtag Carolyn Manning Sale or C Manning Sale. And I'm doing it with Stitchy Linda. That's her Instagram name. And this is where I left off. I did iron my pieces, and I'm pretty sure you've seen the progress, but this is where I left off. And I'm excited to get back to it. I think it was probably good to get a little bit of a break. I'm excited to still grab myself one more of these where it's full coverage versus, this is fun, but it's definitely detail oriented, and it's definitely something that I don't do as well stitching during the day with Philip. So, but it's coming back out. These are the colors. They're all DMC. Oopsie. They're very, very pretty, very rich, really pretty to work with. And that is housed in my Breeze Stitch Folk bag. Which, how fun was it to watch everybody that got to make it up to the attic summer school? It was fun to see Bree there. It was fun that I know everybody was so thrilled that Brenda from Brendan the Serial Starter got to go, and her daughter got to go. And I will say that if you have not watched 911 Stitcher, if you have not watched her video of the overview of summer school at the attic, I think she did a phenomenal job. I think, Stacy, you did amazing because she blended and balanced the fun of what that summer school event is about, the designers, the friends, the stitching, the shopping. Her video was so fun to watch. So make sure you check out 911 Stitcher. I'm sure that you all already follow her, but I think that was my favorite video to watch because, like I said, she did a beautiful job balancing everything out and making it just seem like it was like it was just good. It was really, really good because she made sure that there was just a great balance of the shop, the attic, including, you know, Jean that's there, and it's just the camaraderie. Anyways, and then of course when you see Brenda's haul, you know, that's just fun to watch too. Bless her heart, it just was, I mean, you know, she had to not bring up an extra box because she had to fit it all in, and I just love that for her. Just a great time was had by all, you can tell, and it's definitely on my bucket list for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to, as far as my plans go, I'm gonna go start working on Carolyn Manning's Sal. I'm gonna go back to Women of the Mayflower and give that some love. I'm going to go back to modern folk embroidery. I'm really behind on that. I don't anticipate a finish, but that's okay. But I am gonna start giving that some good love. And I had decided that since this is September and it's Sampler September, you can use hashtag Sampler September if you start something. It's a really fun hashtag to go look at. There's also samplers. There's two. There's another one that is dedicated just to reproductions. Sampler Soiree, SOIREE. So that being said, I know that on my birthday I am starting the Lady of the Flag with Christy from Crosshatch Quilts, which, by the way, has a new Flosstube out. Loved it, watched it. She showed her Mirabilia that she got back, total framing. She got it back. It took my breath away. The frame that they selected for her Queen of Freedom, holy cow, gorgeous, absolutely stunning and perfect. But she's going to stitch the other with me because she's had the pattern for, like she said, for like 20 years. So please feel free to join us. And that starts September 25th is when I'm going to go ahead and get mine going. So, but I think I might change my linen just for like jumping off track here. I think I might change my linen to the Constitution linen. That's what Christy's stitching it on. It is a very plain background, and if I stitch or stick with the original floss, which that's what I purchased, I think that linen needs something else. So I may just scrap the idea that I had and buy the Constitution linen from Primitive Hair. So I gotta get my hands on some of that. But that being said, I decided that I was ready to start for Sampler September, Mary Clayton. I have had her for a good long while. I love her every time I see her. She's not a huge lady. So I think it would be one that I'd like to add to my whips. And then I had already had the linen, but I gotta be honest, I don't know what I got. I know this was for it. It was in the bag. I like it, but I'm considering it now that I have a little more of a stash. to change over to a legacy linen. I have a few of those, and I might change over. I have time to figure out what I want to do. But this is what I had for it. I'm not sure why. But anyways, and then it is housed in my Lisa, who is Kindred Stitcher on Instagram and on Flosstube, in this bag. And I thought, how pretty, because when you look at the grains of those cupids and angels, it's perfect. Then I got my first floss drop trade. I was doing that as well. I have run out of my own tags. I got to order more, but I got my first set and it had exactly the right number. And I thought, how pretty. This is from Linda. These are her floss drops. And so when I wasn't feeling good, this is what I was thinking of. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get these on the drops. And so it was perfect. And I kept her little, she sent the floss drops with a little ribbon with the buttons. So this is what I'm gonna go ahead and start in September. This is gonna be a new start with my Lady of the Flag. And they're too big. I mean, she's not small, but I know what I'm getting into because I like to have choices. So let me move some of this back to where it goes. Okay. I'm gonna get one other thing out of the way here. I shared last week, or last time we got together, I shared Twin Peak Primitives pattern that I kind of fell in love with, a little head over heels and cuteness factor over the TPP Circus. And I told you I just don't know why, I just thought it was really cute. It really isn't something that goes with my decor, wasn't quite sure, but I do believe firmly you should stitch what you love, and I thought this would be really fun to stitch. So one of my subscribers had a great idea, and she said make it a project bag, and I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I thought that was cute because I can just, I can have a good time stitching other things in it, and I'll always see it, and maybe it can be animal related, who knows. But I found PDF downloads on Etsy of Dumbo, which I thought would be cute. And I also found at Joann's in the sale bin, so I think I got, let me put this back down. I got some just primary bright fun circus type fabric that can either be the lining or something like that. I'll figure it out. I'm not quite sure. I'm definitely gonna grab another piece of fabric, but for the sake of making a project bag, I thought like the inside or something like that, that would be good to start. So that's a little tidbit on that. I wanted to say thank you to, I already thanked her on the comment because that's just the perfect solution to something like that. Get that out of the way. Okay, now, I wanted to go through, let me go through eBay. I had to separate it. There was so much. Let me go through eBay haul right now and get that one all done for you. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is say that I watch Sambry Stitches, and she does her own floss tubes, but she also does floss tubes that are interviews of other designers and cross stitchers, and she asks them lots of fun questions, how they got started, things of that sort. So I did watch her, and I loved the interview she had with Kyle. Now I always say his name wrong. I love him dearly, but his name is Kyle Reikemer. And if you just search Flosstube and Kyle, he's gonna come right up. And I think she also did Fox and Rabbit. And I loved both of those interviews. I will warn you, Fox and Rabbit's interview was, I think, almost 2 hours long, but it was really, really good. Both of those interviews were really good. I enjoyed them. And I watched Kyle's kit parade. Kyle had a kit parade, and I gotta tell you, I don't think about kits all the time, with the exception of like Country Sampler or whatever, but he showed some of the funnest kits, and he also did I believe it was a Mirabilia or lavender and lace, either his whip parade or his pattern parade. Either way, Kyle's done some fabulous floss tubes, totally inspirational, and so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna grab a few of the lavender lace I like. Not all of them are my style, but I found a couple that were put together on eBay. So, and I've always liked looking at Kindred Stitcher's Mirabilias. They're gorgeous. So I grabbed, these two came together. And this one is called Told in a Garden. Or I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. She is the Angel of Freedom. Oops. I like how she gives, there's pictures with them. But I kind of gravitated towards this one because obviously I like those colors. The red, the blue, the white. I really like her, and I felt like some of these may be perfect to put with the Mirabilia that I'm gonna start. And then I liked her. She was the other one, and this is called Guardian Angel. So these were not expensive, and I also grabbed one more, and it was this. I don't know if I'll ever stitch her, but I did go ahead and grab the Bride that I liked, and if I did, obviously it would probably be a gift, but I thought for the sake of the prices they were, I grabbed these off of eBay. So Kyle, you made me do it. The other thing I got was I found a Prairie Schooler for a good deal, Christmas Traditions, and I will say I really do like their nativity. So I was happy to have another Prairie Schooler and add that to my collection. I found, this is by Blue Ribbon Designs, and it's called Through the Trees. I really enjoyed Halloween stitching this year. I mean, I've had a really good time stitching on it, and I certainly added some new patterns. I like having some of these where there's a lot of writing. I think it's cute, but I also know that sometimes, like for me to make this, you know, it's just they stitch up a little bit faster. So anyways, I liked that by Blue Ribbon Designs. Okay, now I think at the very beginning, maybe one of my first Flosstubes, I shared that when I first discovered Flosstube and then eBay, because Etsy and eBay are definitely our go-to places sometimes, is I started collecting these cinnamon stick Santas by Homespun Elegance, Sandra Sullivan. So these are what I had. I have my Colonial Santa, who I love, and I'm not sure if I want to make them in stand-ups or just frame them, but I kind of feel like I do want to do the stand-up, do something with them. I don't know. I was kind of thinking of in a wagon at the bottom of the Christmas tree, so like a larger scale, you know, dough bowl thing. So anyways, that's one, and then I had got this one. These are all ones that I already had, and I love the primitive star and the flag. And then I have two of this, and this is called Sampler Santa. And you have the choice. You don't have to stitch this sampler separate, but it's really, really cute. So anyways, I have two of these, and I thought I would go ahead and do a giveaway in case somebody maybe wants to stitch one with me. So if you're interested at all, just use the word Santa. There I go again. Words are hard. Just use the word Santa if you're interested at all. Now, again, you know, you've got to be 18. It's nice if you subscribe, and then all you have to do is, you know, you don't have to use it in a sentence. Just say Santa. I just kind of really like these. So the new one that I got, I'm gonna put this one aside so it can be her giveaway. Oh dear. I think I knocked my light almost over. Okay. The one that I found that I had not had was Santa and His Winter Friends. And I like him. I can't say that I'll use the fur, because that stuff gets hard. I've used it plenty of times, but you can tell that she's got it used in there. But anyways, I added him. So I have these, and I just kind of keep them in my collection for right now. But if there's somebody that would be interested, and please feel free, just use the word Santa, and don't mention giveaway, and don't mention free or winner or anything like that, and I'll announce it next the next Flosstube. Okay, so the other thing I did is I'm looking for my to go. Okay, I had to take a country welcome up to my local needlework shop, which is Brick City Cross Stitch in Ocala. That's where Lincoln's hanging in the window and Witchy Stitcher. So I wanted to add the Before Needlework Expo, which I don't know how y'all handled it, but I was so excited through the whole thing. It was just so fun to know that it was going on, to know that these patterns were heading on their way to our shops, to our hot little hands soon. But anyways, it's fun, and it's fun to be part of it when you're stitching something for it. So I wanted to get a country welcome up there for Jean to have on display. And while I was there, of course, I picked up a couple of things. And one of them was I would like to join in Mill Hill Mondays. If you watch, I think it's Mommy Cross Stitch. I think I mentioned her last time. I'm trying to think of what her name is. It'll come to me in just a second. But she's very big on Flosstube. I know it's Mommy. Oh dear. Anyways, she always participates, and she has this beautiful butterfly in the Mill Hill Mondays. And I'm so sorry for forgetting the entire thing there, her name. But I grabbed from Brick City this one. Now, I do love Jim Shore, but I like the traditional Christmas type thing. So Santa in the coming out the chimney, I like him. So I am going to do my first Mill Hill, and I thought it would be fun to start with this. However, when I was scrolling through eBay, I happened to find this one, which is Believe, and I wanted to start that one. And I know that the Lancashire Stitcher, she is stitching this right now, and she participates in Mill Hill Mondays. So I like him because he's more of a primitive type scene. So I have two, and I'm very excited to get started on these. But I'm gonna start with him. Anyways, if anybody has any tricks of the trade or ideas for doing these Mill Hill kits, please shout them out. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go for it. So when I was there, I grabbed a little small piece of, she had some Picture This Plus Legacy, and I love how she gets these in just these smaller pieces. So I grabbed some of that, and I fell in love is still Homespun Elegance with the new one. It's called Flag Waving Santa. I've already seen him finished by a few people. He's really, really good. So I want to get him done this year. I really like him. So I grabbed that. And I had shared the last time the crow from Heart and Hand. And Jean had these waiting for me, the other two. So this is your Patchwork Deer. And the other one was Patchwork Crow by Heart and Hand. And this is Patchwork Sheep. So I'm good to go. All right, we're getting there. We are getting there, but there's more to come. I was hoping to not frame my my pumpkin gardener, the girl that I just did. So I wanted to try. I thought maybe she would be cute in one of these, and then I would just prop her up in a basket. And then the toad could be a small pillow. So I ordered these off Amazon, which are those rubber frames that I shared, that I got the small ones from Joann's, and they're really super cool. And they have a really nice wood grain look to them. So I thought I would try it. Unfortunately, these are 11 inches. It comes in a 2-pack, and I'm very happy to have them for other things, but they did not fit. They cut off too much of the pattern stitched part. So, but I did want to share. They do have 11-inch sizes. It's pretty big, and it just took too much away. So that did not work out. Okay. We're really moving along quite nicely. Okay, so my purses, let me see if I can get this out. My purses need to be more like tote bags. I take one, I'm not very good with purses. I tend to keep a lot of stuff in there. And then I have Philip's, all his needs in there as well, so I tend to go with tote bags, and they're a bigger size. So I was looking for something for Halloween, something new, and I kind of got really excited. I'm gonna show it to you right here. Now check her out. When I saw this, now this I believe is Lori Holt fabric. It's Old Maid, and this bag was made by Capes and Crafts by Kat. I'm going to show you the card. She's actually local. Now, I didn't know that when I was ordering. I've ordered from her before. She sells strawberries. She sells some other cross-stitch project bags. But let me put this down and put it here. She sells they're like special needs capes that you can put around, and if she had boy ones, I almost would have considered it, just on a personal note. I mean, Philip has low muscle tone around the mouth, so he drools, and it's just something that is, it's just prevalent in our life. So if you can find something that would work. But she has a special needs daughter, and she's just a lovely person, and so I thought, I had no clue when the connection came. But anyway, she has lovely things in her Etsy shop. And again, it is Capes and Crafts by Kat. And this was one of the tote bags. And I gotta admit that my grandmother, when I was a kid, we played Old Maid all the time. And she was quite, she let you know you did not want the Old Maid, not at all. And I mean, my grandma was just always full of it. And so, our family, when I was a kid, loved to play games. And so my grandma, especially, and when we went camping, and you did not want the Old Maid. And so I have really good fond memories, and I just think that this fabric is fantastic. The other side that she used, because I know there's a few different panels, is right here. I mean, and how fun that they're stitching too. So anyways, I wanted to share that. It's kind of like show and tell. Okay, I'm saving the best for last. I really, really am. And we're getting there. All right, so I think as far as cross stitch goes, let me just check my list here. As far as who I've watched, I watched Celeste Creates this week. She got her daughter off to college, so I totally understand that and can relate. I watched Nikki Noodle. Love watching her. I watched, like I said, I watched Sambry Stitches for the interviews. I watched Curly Girl Stitcher. I'd never watched her before. Curly Girl Stitcher. Enjoyed that. I watched Bumble Stitches. I've watched her many times. She has a lot of fun Fat Quarter Shop, Lori Holt projects, amongst many others. And her background, for her floss tubes are eye candy as well, but not because it's cross stitching, it's her garden. She's just got a really lovely view. You should check out Bumble Stitches. Obviously, always Daisy K Primitives, and she actually got to go participate and meet Maggie Bonomi, and I enjoyed that, and I'm happy for her that she got to go up to her store. So the last one I watched was last night, and I got a good chuckle out of it. If I've never mentioned them before, you need to check out Stitching with the Sisterlies. They are two sisters, Cheryl and Colleen. I love them to death. I feel like I have this personal connection with Colleen. We both, I think that both of the sisters love history, but Colleen and I have this, the same type of, I don't know, we have the same kind of love for Abraham Lincoln. She was also in the legal field. I hope as things go on, she'll share a little bit of her story. So what we decided to do was she and I are, and her sister are going to do a stitch along. It's going to be basically a twin stitch along. So Twin Peak Primitives put out the Lincoln Sampler and Stitching for Generations. So I do not have the Lincoln Sampler pattern because obviously I finished it. However, if you watch their show, she has one to hold up for you, and my models are up in the window. But anyways, we are going to do a sale. And it's going to be more than a sale. We're going to have giveaways during the sale. So I'm excited. If this is something that you'd be interested in, I hope that you can go ahead, kit it up, and be ready for an October 1st start. We're going to do it like this. The Lincoln Sampler is going to be stitched by Colleen. She loves Lincoln. She has done a Lincoln quilt. It's phenomenal, and it's done with pictures. She's stitching that one by Twin Peak Primitives. Her sister, Cheryl, is going to stitch Stitching Generations Together. So both sisters, both for the twins, both sales. You can join both if you want to. You can join just one, whichever one you like. The hashtag for the Lincoln Sampler is hashtag HonestAbeSal. The hashtag for Stitching Generations Together is hashtag GenerationSal. We are going to track who uses those on Instagram using the hashtag, because that's how we'll know who's stitching, and that we can enjoy as well and comment on your progress. But we also are going to use that for giveaways because Fat Quarter Shop has graciously agreed to help us with some of the giveaways. I have some of my own up my sleeve. So if we talk about the Lincoln side of it, you can get the Lincoln Sampler if you do not have your pattern yet. If you did want to stitch it, you can get them. You could order from Fat Quarter Shop. They have several of them that they ordered through Expo. You could go through your local needle shop. You could go through the Twin Peak Primitives shop. So I hope that you will join in, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you watch the latest episode, Colleen is going to share with you how Teresa Kogut, who I love, put out some project bags with her patterns around the front. So I don't have any yet, but the one that I am obviously in love with is the Lincoln, because she also has a Lincoln pattern. So it would be perfect if you wanted to house your project in one of Teresa Kogut's bags that you can find on her Etsy site. So we're excited. I think that let me make sure that I didn't miss out on anything when it comes to that. Nope. We, like I said, if you're, tag us when you post progress pictures, but the start date is not till October 1st. She's getting her linen together, and obviously the twins are getting all the patterns out to those expo shops that ordered them, but Fat Quarter Shop definitely will have them for you. And I know Brick City will have them, my local needle shop, if you need some. Anyways, we're excited. You can get either one of those patterns and, join in. I think that, I used for the floss drop trade that's going on right now that took off like gangbusters. Mama Loves You GB, that's her name on, I always say this and I'm sure you probably already know it, but that's her name on Instagram. It's her name on Flosstube. And she came up with the fabulous idea of the floss drop trade. So I had my own floss drops made by Vistaprint, and I got them, and I should have ordered more because I already ran out. But on mine, I had the Lincoln sampler. I used the picture that I took for the pattern release, and I have to go ahead and order some more. But I sent a good chunk up to Colleen so she would have those for her Lincoln sampler as she got started. So if you have any questions about the sales, just put them down in the comments. I hope you'll join us. Make sure to use the hashtags. Make sure to tag us in your progress. We're just super excited to be part of this, and I know the twins are going to be excited to see those stitching the pieces. And I guess that's it. I think it's going to be a fun time. I think that our first giveaway is going to be on Abe and Mary's wedding anniversary, which is November 4th. So it gives you about a month to stitch, and the very first giveaway is going to be on their anniversary. So how cool to honor a marriage that was put through a lot of trials. So I think that'll be fun. I thought that date would be perfect. So we look forward to some of those giveaways. All right. Many of you know this is going to be 2 little show and tells, and then I think we did really good. Many of you know that I learned primitive rug hooking from my mom, and the very first piece I did was a little small pumpkin. But right after that, I fell in love with something I saw in a magazine, and I had went to their guild, and it's another wonderfully generous community, and I wanted to share with you. It's weird, I had it hanging, and there was a ledge right under it, and our cats found it fun to apparently climb my rug, and so I have to do some repair, which is I can do. But while it's down, I thought I would show it to you. So this is my very first rug hooking. Let me slide my chair, hold on. So I fell in love with this, and I absolutely cannot wait to get back to some rug hooking. They have the same concept of your over-dyed wool, just like we have our over-dyed thread. So like that sky, it's all one blue. It's different on a creative level in the sense that, yes, you have some colors to use, but you're pretty free to do a lot of your own. You can put some of your own creativity to the piece. So I originally, let me put this down for 2 seconds here, or I can show you this side a little better. Let's see if I can do it like this for you. It says, there you go. Faith, family, and friends. And when I very first started my Instagram, and knowing that, we were dreaming of the farm, everything was about faith, family, and farming. And obviously, there's many friends along the way, but it was just one of those that it really, when it hung at the farm, it just represented everything that, that we were about. But I wanted to share it with you, and unfortunately you can see right here where the cats had climbed. And so the wonderful part about rug hooking is I can just take my hook. Let me come back to you, one second here. Okay, I can just take my hook and put it back in there. Rug hooking is a very forgiving craft. You can pull it out and put it back in, and I really had a good time with the colors of the leaves. And you know, let me see if I can get down to the bottom of the church. I added, the pattern itself did not have the sheep on the hill, didn't have the flag on the hill, didn't have the smoke from the chimney. And down under the tree there, let's see, I put a chicken under the tree. I liked the blue for the stained glass, but I thought while it was down it would be fun to show you something else, another craft. It's really fun. It's really, really fun, and I encourage you, if you're ever at all interested, oh gosh, it's a really fun hobby to have, and I need to get back to some pieces, finishing some pieces for my mom. Okay, now the last piece I saved kind of goes in connection to that, and it's basically, I had Happy Mail this week with regard to floss tags. I got floss tags from, I made a swap with Brenda and Laura. Well, actually Laura from Brenda and Laura, Brenda and the Cereal Starter. So Laura reached out, and I was so excited to hear from her. And so I made a trade with them, and they're on their way, guys. So anyways, I had some really fun Happy Mail with the floss drops, but I had something really special to share that I really, she's a quilter friend, and the only way I can do this is to kind of give you a little bit of background, and I hope you'll stay with me for it. But when I very first started Instagram about 4 years ago, it was just really neat to meet friends. I had moved from a town I had lived in for 20 years, and I didn't know anybody. I knew we wanted to be out in the country, and we made this family decision that before the girls went into much more of middle school, that we would want to move then, and then they would be finished. You coming up, Kronk? This is Kronk. There you go, baby. They would finish high school. We wouldn't move again. So if we were going to do it, the timing was right. So we did, and we loaded everybody up, and we moved, and we came up to the country, and obviously the dream was, to do the farming. And so when we first found a farmhouse to actually rent, we started with chickens. Okay, how about the other end? Right there. There it goes. Say hi. Can you say hi? Yeah. Anyhow, we fostered. This is Kronk, and his sister is Kiwi, and we fostered them, and then I failed because we kept them. So they call that a foster fail. But anyways, so anyhow, we started with just a few small chickens, and it was so much fun. And one of them, Buff Orpingtons, is a breed of a chicken, and one of them, the hens, was named Laverne, and she was incredibly special, cuddled. She was just, it's really hard to explain. Like a dog, like seriously so much of a pet that I did not know that that's what a chicken could turn into, and that's why they call it chicken math. It's the same as being addicted to some degree as cross-stitch patterns. I mean, you just can't have just one. And so anyways, but Laverne was really special, and along the way of starting to meet people and learning about chickens and farming, and not having as many friends that I knew on a personal level, I was meeting them through Instagram, and I met a very lovely lady, and her name is Julie Porter. Now she has her Instagram name, she does have Julie Porter, but she also has her company name, which is Farmhouse Cottons. She has a shop on Etsy, and she does her own quilting pattern. She does rug hooking. She does everything. She just does lovely, lovely work. So the first thing she contacted me about was as we became friends, and she knew Laverne, and she would see the sweet little pictures of Laverne, who was just felt human. I mean, she was like a therapy chicken to Philip. She asked if she could use Laverne and myself, I don't know if I can get this in there for you, it's a lighter quilt, to make a pattern. So it's called, that's really me, Farm Girl and Laverne. And maybe if I can over time, I will go back down in my Instagram feed and find the picture, because Laverne actually posed for her pattern. So that was the first thing she did, and she was just super sweet. And then we became friends over the years. And she just decorates phenomenally, and her quilts are phenomenal. And then, as we'd had the farm for about 4 years, she always just had a special place in her heart, always did, for our goals on the farm and the dream. And she always knew that, you know, that the concept behind all of it was, you know, faith, family, and farming. And she asked if she could, I would say about a year ago now, she asked if she could create a quilt pattern based off of our farm. And of course I said, yes. Are you kidding me? I'm like, yeah. And she, you know, did such a beautiful job on this that actually a French magazine asked if they could have the quilt to photograph. And it will come out, and eventually I will share that magazine with you. However, the quilt traveled. She finished it. She did it as like a block. You could do like, not a block of the month, but she put the patterns out there in different sections. The first section was the middle block. And when she told me, when all is done, it's yours. And I don't know how to react to something like that. You know, you see me tearing up already, because what do you say? How do you give something back to somebody who does that? My mom quilted for years, and I mean beautiful quilting, Civil War quilts, applique quilts, and anyways, you know, I feel sad that some of that's not in my life to a certain degree. You know, I mean, we have her quilts, but, you know. So, long story short is, this quilt has been many places and was, to me, stitched, every stitch from the heart. And to have something that represents a part of our life that we worked so hard for and loved so much, and even though we are so happy with our decision here because it was the right decision to move, she captured so much of this part of our life that I can't not thank you enough, Julie. I can't thank you enough. So I'll just hold it up. Because it arrived. It arrived last week when I was sick. So what a great day for it to come. And I did not want to just shove a picture on Instagram. I wanted to hold it up for you. Let me see if I can do this. Sorry. Okay, so, oh goodness, let me get the chair taken care of here. Okay. I hope that's going to give you a good enough idea. Now, if I come closer, this was the first, let me open this up a little bit, other way. This was the first block, was the center one, where she was offering it to people where you could just stitch just this, and you could just frame this or whatever you want to do. And the part that I love is that I love red work. The very beginning of Instagram, on my journey, I sold red work towels. It was such a fun part of my journey. I loved it. And so you can see here that what she has, I'm gonna have to stand up for this, is this, you know, obviously is me with the eggs, and this is Farmer Randy, and the baby chicks are done in red work. in embroidery. And the same over here. And then there's the rooster. And then on the outer edges and everywhere you look, she has taken our animals that we had. Because we had geese, we had Lurch the turkey, this was our tree that we had. We had a tree right outside that I loved, that I always propped a wagon wheel up against. And then this was our little chicken coop that we added the white picket fence. She put our local church in because our church was right around the corner, so I love that she added. This was our Astatula Baptist Church. She just made all these details so special. You know, here's our goat. Here's our pool, our kiddie pool, because, geez, Pumpkin loved that kiddie pool. More goats coming down here. Let me see if I can pull this in half for a second. 1 minute. Oh, yeah, and we had a windmill. I got that for Mother's Day. This is Ophelia. This was our barn. There was a structure left, and we took 2 pieces of plywood and we put them together like Dutch doors, and we made the flag. And so when it opened, you know, we could see in there, but the animals would stay in. So that was our goat barn, and off the back was the horse stall. We always had the flag mounted to the tree. And as you come down here, she's got quill in applique. This was our water trough. And then down here is Philip's dump truck. Here's our pigs. This one right here, right underneath us, is, hold on a second. This one's Pumpkin, Peppa. This is Pickles. But aren't the different textures just so beautiful? That she's got the red work with the applique, with the quilting. Look at that. There's hubby's truck. I love the flag fabric, the hay. It's funny that I know enough about some of the quilting to see like the flying geese. I think that's what it's called, but yeah. So please, if you quilt, if you do any of this kind of work, I mean, please check out her. Like I said, her name is Julie Porter. Farmhouse Cottons is her shop, and I cannot thank her enough. It hangs in our foyer right over my little red farmhouse bench, and it's just perfect. So let me see if I can grab my chair back. Oh, the cat stole it. Kronk, you gotta get down, baby. There you go. Okay. It's really soft. It's so soft, like I don't want it to ever get, you know, ruined. And but boy, I almost wanted to just, like, she's made it so. Oh, it's just so cozy. I mean, I love it on my wall, but part of me just wants to cuddle up in it too. It's just that soft. So anyways, from the bottom of my heart, Julie, thank you so much. I love you. And the good news is she just moved and they bought their own property. So she's going to live out the dream like I did. You know, I was part of this group that was called, you know, Farming in Your 50s. And I wouldn't have changed any of it. So I wish them all the best of luck. And I think this is such a great way to end this episode. And I'm so thankful that you joined me. I am so thankful that you always take the time to watch. I am getting close to 5,000 subscribers, and when I do, I am going to take a trip up to Brick City, and we are going to put a nice big giveaway together. So please make sure, because I don't want you to miss out. I've already talked to the owner of the shop, Miss Jean, who is such a good friend, and we're going to make this special for you. So that being said, double check, make sure you are subscribing to my channel, and as soon as I get there, we're going to celebrate. Who knows, maybe it'll be around my birthday. That'd be really cool. And I wish you nothing but health and happiness and good stitching. And be creative, and don't forget to floss. Love ya.